15 minutes while we sitting there. What the hell is going on? I love you. I see you in next week, or when's the next time we can do lunch, or whatever the case may be, because you do need to regroup.
You need face-to-face interaction with your loved ones. And I think even with so that too, right? To not to stray away from the relationship part of it, dates don't have to be dates. Like, people think dates have to be money and material. Like, oh, you don't take me on dates. No, set time to speak to your significant other. Like, we do that now, right? Like, we'll go Sunday 2 hours and just talk about the week, and then talk about, all right, what did you, like, the small goals, right? And then clearly we got overall goals or whatever, but we'll do that, right? Or we'll go, let's watch a movie together. You know, I always go and watch them before you a lot, because I'm more of a movie buff, and you just sleep
more than all the time.
Yeah, but because you sleep through the movie anyway, so I gotta, then you talk through the movie. So that's another thing. You always ask me questions, so I'd rather watch it first so I can answer your questions. Because you want to ask me questions. It's my first time watching the movie, so I can't answer it. So if I watch it first, I can be informative. But anywho, that it doesn't have to be finance. Like, everybody, I hate that. And I'm not gonna say all, but most people that I hear when I watch the shows, it's people that look like me discussing this shit, and they giving out bad information. So that's why, like, how we
I don't feel like they're giving out any information. All they're doing is
but when they do give out information, but that's still informative, because people are taking that and they're thinking, oh yeah, so right, somebody
discussing a problem with no resolution.
Never no resolution. So like when they talk the 50-50 shit, they be speaking from a perspective of 1% of the fucking country, right? The average person doesn't make enough money to fund a household, and then they go, oh, you shouldn't have a girl, you shouldn't be there. All right, but what if before the economy getting the way it was, I could afford my girl and my house? What if I lost my job? What if the shit just went up, right? Children get older. Like, you got people that got kids going off to college. More expenses come into play, right? You brought a brand new car when you first started. That car ain't brand new no more. That shit got problems. You got to fix it, right? Money is a real thing, right? People say money don't buy happiness, but neither does poverty. But money brings comfort. And if you comfortable, you got a higher chance of being happy than when you uncomfortable. You understand? So like me, for instance, right? I've been through moments where it's like, oh, we up. You want to work? You can work. But when you work, this is what your money got to go to, right? We got to be saving. We got to be using this. We started the crib. We always started businesses with your money, like, for the most part, right? Or our money, so to say, right? Because I'll put up and you'll be like, oh, I got this over here for that. Whenever I fell short with something, right? Or not even fell short, where I didn't have enough, where I'm like, I don't want to put all of this up, you would be like, well, look, we got this money over here. Mm-hmm. You understand? Let's do that and do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like, I right now, I could afford for us to live somewhere where it's like, you know what, you don't want to work, I'm going to pay for everything. But the way my finances is for us to be comfortable, right, where it's not like, oh, we're not literally going hand to mouth or check to check, I would have to live somewhere that wouldn't be what we're accustomed to. From apartment size, for amenities, neighborhood. So, right, so you got to ask yourself as a wife, are you willing to say, oh, I'm not working, and that's what it is, we're going to live here, then be fucking complaining the whole time, right? You got 100%, and it's never really 50-50 in a traditional house. Yeah. It might be 70-30, it might be 90-10, 80-20, 60-40, right? Even if it is 50-50, as adults that's building together, why is that a fucking issue? If we building together, why are you so bothered that you have to help build us up? Right, and especially in marriage, right? Going back to that, we put up a poll and we asked people, do you need your husband? Do you need your wife? And some people felt like, oh, I don't need my wife, I don't need my husband. Then you shouldn't be fucking married, because literally marriage says that y'all need each other. Y'all became one. When you married somebody, you was an individual, they was an individual. You should need your wife. You should need your husband.
You can't procreate, right? You can't build a family without a foundation, right?
Yes.
So if you're a man, you're not going to start a family without your woman, right? So you need your woman. But as a woman, You cannot start a family without your man. Well, I mean, people fucking going on Facebook now and finding people.
No, let's be talking about real life shit. Yeah, that's a whole.
Real life
no, that's not real life shit because that's corny. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not
in
realistic.
reality, right?
Yeah.
Your child is still growing up fatherless, right?
Yes, that's not a family. Yeah.
So on a serious note, as a woman, you want to start a family. You need your man, your husband, to build your family, right?
Yeah.
Then you have your kids, right?
But
to keep your legacy going.
I feel like you need your wife and your husband more than you need your children. And I say that to say this because children go on to need their wives and husbands.
They start their own family, right?
And that's the one thing I told you when we had our first child, right? I said, you gotta promise me that no matter what happens, you're never gonna put this child before me. And people probably think that's selfish or crazy.
They don't understand. I think the only one who has ever admitted to that, and I say admit because people be like, "Oh, you gotta put your kids first," is Bio. Yeah. Literally saying that he told Sam that when they got together, right? And people feel like, what do you mean? They think that when you say that, it's like you're gonna neglect your kids.
If you have to kill me on kids, kill kids.
Right? If we're not good, how can we guide these children?
No, so for me, bigger than that is how did they get here? Mm-hmm. It was me and you, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we started this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how dare you put them before me? How
brick
dare
by brick.
Exactly, yeah. Brick by brick. We built this shit. No, seriously though. How dare I put them before you? Like, think about that. That shit sounds crazy to me when people be like, when women be like, oh, now my kids, especially when it's with, I get it when, and I still don't get it, but I understand it when it's not the kid's father. Yeah. And even then that's whack, because if he's stepping in, because that's what a stepdad is, and that's why I say, that's another conversation, I don't want to get into that, right? But how dare me go, my kids come first, right? When they go, oh, my mother, that's a whole nother conversation. My wife comes before everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come before the kids because without us, the kids don't fucking exist. So how dare me ever be like, yo, nah, they come first. Because if you told me that, it would blow my mind. Because everything that I do as a provider, right, I do for y'all, right? But I do for myself. And people might feel like, oh no, you crazy if you tell me you don't think about yourself first. Because if you don't think about yourself, how the fuck you gonna do for anybody else? So that's my natural order. Like, for me, I think June, then I think Shelina, then I think the kids. Because whatever I do, however this shit work, whatever I do for you, I do for them. And I know you're gonna handle that, right? So if I'm out, here you go, I don't ever have to think, is she gonna take care of these kids? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the same thing, right? You should never have to think, oh shit, when these kids get older, this motherfucker, if I only take care of my kids, that'll make a woman think, so what's gonna happen when he don't gotta take care of the kids no more? He gonna stop taking care of me, and not just financially, just overall. Mm-hmm. So like, like I said, like we're gonna always be their parents. If they need us, they can come to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to leave until they good and ready to leave. Personally, like, my kids is always welcome in my home. I'm not you 18 or you got a job and get out. Hell no. But I always told you that, back to what I said. The first thing I told you when we had our first child was, promise me, no matter what, that you will always put me first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to always put you first. And a lot of people don't understand it, and I said, and I don't like that they put that in the air that it's supposed to be, oh no, my kids come first. No, your kids come after your significant other, and to the point, you need your wife, you need your husband to be complete as one. And again, if you genuinely feel like you don't need this person, you should free them from this fake union, right? Because I don't know exactly what it says in the vows of religion, but I'm almost certain it literally says, if a motherfucker say till death do us part, I think you need that person to be alive, right? Like, so it's like, shit is crazy to me. That's a motherfucker, and that's what I tell you when I say, and I don't want to divulge into that too much, people want weddings. They don't want marriages.
No.
They want weddings, bro. Like, they just want to say, I'm married. They don't want to live up to what a marriage is. Because everybody run at the first sign of any type of problems. It's like, oh, you really don't want to be married.
Yeah.
So, I'll say that to say this.
Soak it out.
Yeah, but I just feel like we as a culture, we doing bad when it comes to that, you know, like, and moving forward from that. I'm like, another thing, we don't use social media to our advantage to give information, to uplift and all of that.
I think it's a lack of love from people all around the board. Even friendships, significant others, relatives, it comes across as there's a need to compete. And I'm generalizing, right? And I say that because I'm thankful for my friend. I hate calling them a friend group, right? Because I just have to put it out there. That this is my family, right? The family that I built. I'm grateful for them to have found them. It took me a long time, right? We went through bad friendships and stuff like that. Spent a lot of time around them, learning about their characters. I forgot what I said earlier. I was like, what did I say this morning?
When?
This morning when I was like, I was talking about friendships, and yeah, I'm super grateful for my friend group, who was actually family. I was saying that there was a lack of, I felt like there was a lack of love, there's a lack of community.
Yeah.
And these, like, not saying that everybody has to think the same, right? But these individualized sectors of the family dynamic. Yeah. Even to where, like, the husbands and wives are not even on the same page as things when it can be, like, something as small as parenting styles, right? How should we scold our kids, educate them, and things of that nature, though. But I don't know if as you get older, you have a less tolerance for bullshit.
I don't get old. I get wiser.
Older, I said.
I get wiser.
All right, the wiser that you get, you have a less tolerance for bullshit.
I agree.
You put a lot of value on things that are priceless, less things that are materialistic. And I don't know.
That's all. I agree. To add to that, I tell people all the time is the most priceless thing you possess that you can spend. And I just don't trust people who say time is money, because I don't agree with that.
Right, time is priceless. I agree.
Because I tell you, all the money in the world can't buy you back 1 second. Mm-hmm. But if you use your time wisely, you can make all the money in the world. So I'm gonna leave it at. I'm actually gonna end it.
What are you grateful for in your friend group?
What my
family dynamic.
What I'm grateful for with my brothers and my one sister. Huh? I ain't digging. I'm scratching the surface, like right there on the outside. This is.
We're editing that out.
No, we not. I'm scratching my edge. Like, I didn't dig it. You see wax on my fingers? I literally scratched.
I hate people do that.
Right there. I'm scratching that. It was itching. Anywho, what I'm grateful for my brothers and my one sister, and that's another thing I tell people that. What making that face for? The brothers and sisters that you choose are more important than the ones that are born into your life, because you don't have no choice over those siblings. Like, they're just there. But when you bring somebody in and you tell them they're a brother, or whoever nasty bite just went by, whoever you bring in as a brother and a sister, that's, to me, that holds way more value, because I chose them as a brother and a sister. But what I'm grateful for them is, one, they hold me accountable for when I don't feel like I'm being who I need to be. You know, they remind me of that. They're like, nah.
They're not sugarcoating.
Nah.
Bullshit.
Nope. And if I half-ass something, they let me know. You know, and then on top of that, like, you know, I love the fact that nobody has to pretend to be something they not.
Right.
Like, every one of us is like, we are who we are, take it or leave it. I don't really have I don't be around them and feel like, why they always trying to front on me, or why they always trying to downsize what I'm doing, or why they always, you know what I'm saying, acting like everything they do is grander, or they act like they don't got problems. And not that people should have problems, because we're human. But, and another thing, they don't come around me. The only thing I don't like is that